members of the Marine Corps posted a questionable photo on Snapchat with an even more questionable caption. Now, the photo featured an assault rifle along with a caption that read, "Coming to a gay bar near you." Now, after that was originally posted on social media, someone had reposted it on a Facebook page that is only available to members of the Marines. About 25,000 people are on that private Facebook page. And apparently the person who originally made that image and the person who reposted it on Facebook have been identified, and they're being investigated by the Marine Corps. Now, to give you some more information about this, the Marine Corps members reportedly responsible for the post belong to the I Marine Expeditionary Force, which is headquartered at Camp Pendleton in San Diego County. The post also promised that Orlando was long overdue and that San Diego, the city where the suspects were based, was next. Shortly after the photo was uploaded, the Marine who did so followed it up with, "Too soon?" Yeah, I would argue that it's too soon.
Because it's ever.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a group of people that think this is when people think they're funny. This is what I encounter. It's a closed group. And I have a friend who always says the worst thing and then laughs after. And in his defense, he doesn't believe those things. He just says them when he knows no one else is around, and like he wants that reaction out of everyone. So benefit of the doubt to this Marine. If you're giving them the benefit of the doubt, they're just saying the worst thing, because for a lot of people, that takes the place in their head of what comedy does. And for those who think that way, that's a misunderstanding of comedy. You should do it to kind of make a point, a better point about making the world better, not just saying the worst thing ever.
I don't know. I think that he was serious. I don't think it was a joke. The Marine Expeditionary Force, I believe that's a Special Forces unit. I don't know for sure, so don't quote me on that. But I do remember when I was in boot camp that I did experience a lot of different racism, a lot of different people that just didn't know. They just came from different parts of the country that were completely, one guy told me at one point that he never saw a black person except on TV. So it was like, in the military, you get people from all over. You get people from every background, from every type of, town or little small, podunk town around the country. And I think that this was another type of idea where someone was trying to joke, but actually saying what they really felt.
Yeah.
And now that it's happened, because they went farther and posted it and then said San Diego's next, like you kept going with it. You put it on Snapchat, then it's posted more and more, and it's like you keep going with it. If you're gonna keep going and being persistent with it, that's a thought that's in your head.
Yeah, that's not a joke at that point. And also the name of the group is Camp Pendleton. It's, even the description, it says, oh, we're here to blow off some steam. We're here to, it's a safe place for men in the Marines. So we can talk about things that, we normally can't say publicly. And I'm like, this is wrong. Posting this is wrong.
What's interesting is Camp Pendleton is also the name of a gay bar in San Diego.
Really?
Wow.
No, I made that up. But it should be.
It should
It'd be
now.
great.
That's a really good point.
Yeah, that really, it shows me, and I, coming from a military family, and albeit no one in my family is in the Marines, but I've been around enough of my military family to know that there is a lot of systemic racism and homophobia that's within them, and and they will openly admit it, and they will have openly talked about how DOMA affected everything, and how their personal opinions on homosexuals in the military. And since DOMA was overturned, I've actually seen more anti-gay sentiments coming from my younger members of my family in the military, especially the ones stationed at Camp Pendleton.
Well, San Diego specifically, from what I've experienced, is there's definitely a racial divide in San Diego, right? Like there are, the suburbs of the more affluent individuals who are white, let's keep it real, and, the mentality among a lot of people that I've experienced, but this is just anecdotal evidence. I'm from California, lived here my entire life, and every time I've gone there, there's this weird divide, and it's uncomfortable because you don't experience a similar divide in Los Angeles. It's a lot more, you see a lot more mixed communities, although you still see a little bit of division in Los Angeles as well. But one thing that everyone should keep in mind is the gay community has made massive strides in like the last 5 years, okay? Prior to that, I mean, think about it. DOMA was still intact, okay, and that was a good point that you mentioned. But also, don't ask, don't tell was a huge policy within the military. So it doesn't surprise me that that type of homophobia exists, and it's going to take a lot of fighting and a lot of time in order to change, you know, the mentality around the gay community and gay soldiers. I mean, these are people who are fighting in the military with you.
In the military, you know, they're governed by their own military code of justice. So, you know, a lot of people that you know, determine these rules and regulations are a lot older, are, you know, generals and admirals across the board. And, you know, I'm not going to speak for them, but I'm pretty sure that they're a little bit more old-fashioned than a lot of the millennials and people who speak and think of, you know, different in the way we look at change today. I'm not saying that they're all Republicans, but I'm just saying that, you know, their line of thinking may be, you know, a lot older and not new like a lot of the transients are.
And this is like that period after a tragedy where everyone is affected in a different way. And just as there are many folks who are saying, like, we need to change gun laws now. We need to do it now. This is now, because this is the biggest, most deaths of any single shooting incident in the history of America by one person. And you also get to see the folks on the other side who just don't get it.
Yeah.
There was a video, I don't know if you covered it on this show, but of a preacher who said, I'm glad that a number of pedophiles are dead.
Yeah.
There was someone who said out in Orlando, outside of a place, he said, the next 50 are here.
Oh, that was in Brooklyn, I believe.
Or in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And the name of the place was Happy Fun Hideaway. And it's like, it's so weird to make those threats outside a place called Happy Fun Hideaway. All these places that you're threatening like sound like the most fun places ever.
Yeah.
Like it's sad that it's valuable to be able to at least identify where the terrible is. And I don't know how any other way besides all of us standing up and voicing our concerns and voicing our disapproval of this kind of a behavior, especially when it's leaked from what's happening behind closed doors, because it makes you so much scared about what else people are saying when they think nobody's listening.
Again, they may be closeted as well.
Yeah, I think that's I mean, look, it's not necessarily true of everyone who does something or says something homophobic, but there seems to be a pattern among those who are the most violently homophobic, right? Or use, you know, the most violent rhetoric when referring to that community, because I feel like they have something to hide. Like they hate themselves so much, and they, for some reason, feel so much shame for something that they can't help that they lash out in violent ways.
Right.
And so I think the best thing you can do is educate young people about the realities of sexuality and sexual orientation, and also create a community where people feel comfortable with their sexual orientation, where they don't feel like, oh, I'm the other, or I'm weird and everyone should hate me. That kind of self-hate manifests in terrible, violent ways sometimes.